31-year-old Brandon Mitchell was known only as juror number 52, and he joins us now. Brandon, we're really glad to see you because all of us wanted to know what happened. So I'd like you, if you could, please take us inside the room. I think we were surprised that you're 12 strangers, you didn't know each other, you go in the room, what's the process, and how were you able to reach a verdict so quickly? And good morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning to you. First, I want to send my condolences to the Floyd family.
Yes.
But when we walked into the deliberation room, the first thing we did is we voted on whether or not we wanted to have our mask on. So we made that kind of an icebreaker just to get going. We voted to not have our mask on. We took our mask off. Then we voted for a four-person. And from there, we went straight into the manslaughter charges and took a preliminary vote before doing a final vote on those charges and went forward from there.
Now, what was a preliminary vote?
The preliminary vote was 11 of us were already, we were already on board for guilty for the manslaughter. One person was still unsure. And we just went over it as a team, as a group. Each person kind of went down the line on why they thought it was guilty. We did another vote maybe 40 minutes later after we went through everybody, and everybody was on the same page for the manslaughter. It happened really quickly.
And did you do that with each of the charges? Is that what you did, took a vote on each of the charges?
Yep, so each charge, we did a preliminary vote to see where we were at. If there was anybody that was not on board yet or was unsure, then we would, go around the room. Everybody kind of speak on what they think is necessary to speak on. We went over maybe a little bit of the evidence, and then we would come back with the final vote whenever we thought it was a suitable time.
What was the one person unsure about, Brandon?
I think it was like just the terminology. So within the instructions, some of the terminology can be a little tricky because it's legal jargon, and so sometimes some of the words can be interpreted differently amongst people. So it was just, they wanted to do their due diligence and just make sure that they were coming out with the right verdict that they believed in. So they were just hung up on a few words, and we kind of went through the definitions that were given to us and kind of broke it down from different perspectives to get everybody on the same page. Was
there any particular witness that moved you and moved the jury that you said, okay, we were deeply affected by fill in the blank?
Yeah, so I think as a whole jury, I think Dr. Tobin was the biggest, the most influential witness out of everybody. For me personally, Donald Williams was another person. So Donald Williams and Dr. Tobin for me for sure.
Yeah, that was a mixed martial fighter.
The fighter. Yeah, so him early on, I thought he set the tone for the rest of the trial. And then when Dr. Tobin came, with him speaking so scientifically, but also making it understandable for everyone, along with the exhibits that he came with, I thought he just broke it down in a manner that was easy for all the jurors to understand. And I didn't think there was any way for the defense to come back after that. I was like, to me, the case was done at that point almost.
Did you feel pressure because you knew the world was watching that, we have to reach a guilty verdict here?
Not at all. And I don't think any of us felt like that. I for sure did not. I for sure did not feel like that. The pressure more so came from just being in the room and being under stress. But it wasn't pressure to come to a guilty verdict.
What were you stressed about? What were you all stressed about?
We were just stressed about just the simple fact of, every day we had to come in and watch a black man die. That alone is stressful.
Yes.
Coming in each and every day and having to watch somebody die is stressful enough by itself. So anything outside of that was secondary, just because as a human, it's natural to feel some kind of way as you're watching somebody in agony.
Yeah, I can't imagine, Brandon, what it was like to be able to watch that tape day after day after day the way you all did. Yeah, it definitely had its
it had its impact on me. There was a few days where I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make it in this next day, especially me as a black man and a larger black man. I'm about 6'4", 250 pounds, and some of the testimonies just like saying how size could be considered like, you know, is it a risk or a threat? And it's a threat. Whereas me, I'm a gentle giant.
Yeah.
But stuff like that affects me in a way that is weird. I mean, I don't know if it affects anybody else the same way.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. How did you all feel about Derek Chauvin, the fact that he did not take the stand? Would that have made a difference, do you think? We'll never know, but do you think it would have made a difference?
It possibly could have. We did talk about, you know, the fact that he didn't. Somebody had brought it up, like they wish that he would have. They would have liked to have heard from him. But since it wasn't part of the case, it just is what it is. But yeah, I mean, anything brought in or not brought in, it could have possibly affected it either way. Either way, I can't say it would have changed the outcome, but it's a possibility for sure.
And do you worry about your safety? Now, this was such a controversial case. We now know your name. We now know what you look like. We now know that you said you're a large man. Do you worry about your safety?
No, not at all.
All right.
Not at all. I'm a person that kind of thrives in the positives. So I'm not too much concerned about that, nor do I dwell on
the what ifs.
on negativity like that. Yeah, the what ifs.
And he's going to be sentenced June 25th. What do you think is the proper sentence for him, for Derek Chauvin? He's facing up to 40 years.
Yeah, I couldn't say what the proper sentencing would be. You know, I think we came with the right verdict. Was guilty on all charges, and you know, I'll let the judge do what he does.
All right, Brandon Mitchell, thank you very much. We really wanted to hear from you today. It's been a fascinating case that we've all been watching. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.